today's video, an incredibly inspiring success story.
I had contracted a very rare kidney disease.
This man had a glomerular filtration rate or GFR of 18 and a creatinine of 4.99. He was spilling a ton of protein in the urine and he knew that when his creatinine will be over 5, he will have to start dialysis. Eventually, he crashed and ended up in the emergency room before he could even actually see a kidney doctor. His doctor never told him what to eat and what to avoid. Instead, he was given high blood pressure medication, but it didn't work much since his creatinine levels kept rising. But this is not how it ends for him.
A friend of mine who teaches here on this campus and is a registered dietitian comes into my office one morning before class and goes, "I've been following your case. I want to do an experiment." It was so worth the energy to do it, because within 2 weeks, I started feeling better.
It was really worth it. Today, he is in complete remission. His creatinine is 0.8 and he is off all medications. What he needed to do is to make just one change to his diet, to start avoiding one food. Catherine here. I've been working with kidney disease patients for almost 10 years now, and what I will share with you today is one of the most inspiring success stories I've come across in my entire career.
I'm Chef Dwayne. I'm a culinary arts instructor here at the Inland Northwest Culinary Academy at Spokane Community College. I'm also a kidney patient.
Dwayne Sanwald is a chef and a culinary arts instructor at the Spokane Community College. Around 20 years ago, he was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. Here's what he says about it. 20 years ago at 40, Dwayne Sanwald was on top of his game as a chef and culinary arts instructor. But one day he had to step back from his bullish career due to a serious illness that would later on change his life. Chef Dwayne Sanwald was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, or CKD in short. This gradual loss of kidney function was zapping out his energy and reducing his quality of life, but his doctor was of no help at all. How did Chef Sanwald found out he had kidney disease? When I turned 40, I noticed that my energy level was draining. I was in and out of the doctor's office for 4 months, but I was only being treated for symptoms, migraines, and high blood pressure. I was never being treated for the actual cause. Eventually, a lab test showed that I was spilling a ton of protein in my urine. I had totally crashed and ended up in the emergency room before I could even actually see a kidney doctor. I was hooked up to a morphine pump and I could hardly move. My creatinine level reached 4.99 milligrams per dl. My doctor told me that when creatinine reaches 5 milligrams per dl, it triggers a need for dialysis.
It was so worth the energy to do it.
But guys, after that,
because within 2 weeks, I started feeling better.
Chef Sanwald was able to improve. Today, he is not on dialysis. He is not on any medication actually, and he only had to do one change to his diet to achieve this incredible result.
It was so worth the energy to do it, because within 2 weeks, I started feeling better.
His life truly is an inspiration for us, but it was not easy for him to achieve this amazing result with kidney disease. So question, what made all the difference for him? After ending up in the ER and getting diagnosed with advanced stage kidney disease, Chef Sanwald did what any person would do. He went to see a nephrologist, but things didn't go as planned. He was never told what foods he should eat and avoid. He wasn't given any meaningful advice from his doctor. Instead, he was given high blood pressure medication, but it didn't work much since his creatinine levels kept rising. Then something happened to him. Let's see.
I had contracted a very rare kidney disease. And a friend of mine who teaches here on this campus and is a registered dietitian comes into my office one morning before class and goes, "I've been following your case. I want to do an experiment." And I'm like, okay. She goes, "I want to take you off of animal protein just for 90 days. Let's see how you feel. And if you don't feel better, I'll let you eat whatever you want." And I'm like, okay, I've been sick. I'm motivated. Let's do this. It was so worth the energy to do it, because within 2 weeks, I started feeling better. I was absolutely amazed that diet could cause such a change in someone's life.
So he was lucky enough to have a friend who was a registered dietitian to recommend him the right diet for kidney disease. And he found out about the diet that can actually make all the difference with kidney disease. The low protein diet. Incredible! Guys, remember that this happened almost 20 years ago. And I know that many of you guys following me here regularly already know that the low protein diet for kidney disease works. But you must understand that 20 years ago, information about this diet was just not available. There were not enough studies, and in fact, Chef Sunwood's friend, a registered dietitian, considered the low protein diet an experiment. Today, this is not the case anymore. We have large review of studies to prove that it works. We have solid data. Now, you know what's strange about the low protein diet? The diet that stops kidney disease? That today many doctors still won't recommend it to their patients. They are still recommending patients to eat whatever they want and just prepare for dialysis. So is it wrong to eat whatever and just wait for dialysis? Yes, that's very wrong. That's the worst possible approach. Why doctors keep recommending patients to do nothing when there is a diet that can help? As we have seen, just removing animal protein from his diet made a huge difference for Chef Sunwood. In just 2 weeks, he was able to get his energy back and to start getting back his kidney function. And yet, many doctors still know nothing about the low protein diet, and obviously they don't recommend it to their patients. But why would a kidney doctor do that? There are actually two reasons why doctors do this. First of all, because still in 2022 the low protein diet is not well known by medical practitioners in the US. It's widely used in Europe though, and that's why we have enough data about it to say that it works. But it's not common in the US, so you still have to get informed by yourself about it. And the second reason is a hidden danger connected to the low protein diet you should know about before starting it. More about this in today's video. Okay guys, today I also want to show you some of the foods that people following a low protein diet just like Chef Sunwood are eating every day to keep kidney disease at bay. But before that, a question that people always ask me. Why the diet for kidney disease has to be so complicated? Guys, there are many people that subscribe to my channel Double Kidney each day. Many of them are new to the world of kidney disease, and I understand that all these changes, the diet, the restrictions, the blood analysis, and the levels to keep under control may seem difficult to understand and scary. So you may ask, is there a way to make things easier? Well, there is one thing that I really recommend. And a lot of kidney disease patients are using this program to improve their kidney function and to lower their creatinine levels. Some patients are even reversing their kidney disease thanks to what they're learning from this program. If you want to give a fast boost to your kidney health, you should consider downloading it. I'm leaving a link down in the description. Check it out to know more.
It was so worth the energy to do it, because within 2 weeks, I started feeling better.
So now the question is a diet without protein really proven to stop kidney disease? The diet Chef Sunwood is following is a diet which is very low on protein and rich in plant foods. This diet is used today to treat advanced stage pre-dialysis kidney disease. This is because it is proven to work by a large review of studies published in the Cochrane Library. Researchers and many doctors firmly believe that it can basically stop the progression of the disease even in the advanced stages. This is a diet that will remove the greatest burden for the kidneys in existence, protein. It's not a secret that a plant-based diet is the best way in the world to protect the kidneys and slow down kidney disease progression. And that's because plant foods are not rich in protein and they pack a punch when it comes to nutrition. Is removing animal protein all we need to stop kidney disease? Well, the knowledge about the diet that stops kidney disease, the low protein diet, made significant steps forward in the last 20 years. We know now certain facts about this diet that 20 years ago were not even considered. So this is very important. Today, the best nephrologists in the world are recommending patients to follow a diet even more restrictive than what Chef Sunwood was doing 20 years ago. So what foods are always allowed in a diet that actually stops kidney disease? All vegetables and fruits suitable for a renal diet will fit in a diet without protein. The exception is legumes, nuts, and seeds. These do contain some protein. They can be had but in very small amounts. High-fat foods such as vegetable and olive oils, but also olives, flax seeds, chia seeds are very recommended. Now, as someone with potassium levels under control may add avocado and coconut, two very healthy fat sources, to their diet. In some cases, even low-sodium dressings and mayonnaise may be acceptable. What foods should you always avoid in a diet that actually supports kidney health? High-protein foods are to be avoided completely in a diet like the one that Chef Sunwald is following. This includes any kind of meat and fish, but also eggs and dairy are to be completely removed. As we have learned from Chef Sunwald, meat is the worst. But there is something we must understand about protein. The goal here is to keep protein intake to a very low level. But unfortunately, this also comes with a hidden danger. You see, protein is an essential nutrient for the body. While the kidneys are damaged by it, the rest of your body really needs protein to survive. How can you avoid the danger linked to the diet that stops kidney disease? There is a supplement you absolutely need to take to make this diet work and to avoid the danger of malnutrition. Keto analogs of amino acids. Very low protein diets are always coupled with some keto analogs supplementation. The reason is malnutrition. Because while your kidneys really suffer from breaking down protein into amino acids, your body really needs amino acids. And luckily for us, researchers found out a way to get these amino acids without damaging the kidneys. So, to get the benefits of a low protein diet and avoid malnutrition, you can use these special amino acids. Now guys, I know that the very low protein treatment is a very big topic. We've just scratched the surface today. This is why I made a whole video about it, with all the info you need to start a diet that stops kidney disease. It's up here if you want to watch it. This diet is proven to stop kidney disease progression even in the advanced stages, and science confirms that. This dietary approach, which is criminally underrated in the US, could literally prolong the life of your kidneys by 10 years or more if implemented correctly. Today, I want to show you how to do this from a practical point of view. We will see exactly what to eat, what to avoid, and what to supplement. We are also going to see the easiest way in the world to calculate protein, potassium, and other nutrients. Yes, there is an app for that, so don't miss even a second of this video. Very important question. Is the very low protein diet really proven to stop kidney disease? The very low protein diet, and I'm putting the emphasis on very here, or VLPD from now on, is used to treat the advanced stages pre-dialysis kidney disease. It is proven to work by a large review of studies published in the Cochrane Library. Researchers and many doctors firmly believe that it can basically stop the progression of the disease even in the advanced stages. This is a diet that will remove the greatest burden for the kidneys in existence: protein. It's not a secret that a plant-based diet is the best way in the world to protect the kidneys and slow down kidney disease progression. And that's because plant-based foods are not rich in protein and they pack a punch when it comes to nutrition. Yet, we can still go one step further, removing protein from the diet. This is what the VLPD is all about. And this will, in turn, completely stop the progression of CKD. Actually, the aim of this is not just to stop the progression of CKD and live longer. It's also to decrease the symptoms and greatly improve your quality of life. Proteinuria, uric acid levels, but also nausea, itching can all be greatly reduced with this diet. The VLPD is the most common diet for CKD in Europe, so there's enough data today to be 100% sure that it works. Guys, I don't want to talk too much about studies and researches today because, well, I've already done that in my video up here. I've discussed the most commonly asked questions about the VLPD, such as, is the VLPD really proven to work? And why hasn't my doctor prescribed this diet to me? And more. What you need to know in short is that low protein and very low protein diets continue to be more readily used in Europe and minimally used in the US. It's not impossible to find a competent nutritionist though, even in the US. Also, anyone with kidney disease in stage 3, 4 and 5 pre-dialysis can benefit from a VLPD. What I want to show you today is a practical approach to the VLPD. There will be examples, there will be foods to eat and foods to avoid and more. I've also found a very interesting app for your phone that I want to show you. This is a 100% free app that will let you input all the foods you eat and that will show you exactly how much protein, carbs and fats you're getting, but also potassium, phosphorus and a lot of other things. More about this in the next part of the video. Now, let's see immediately what someone on a VLPD would eat in a day. I know that this looks almost like a regular plant-based diet, but there are differences. Actually, if you are following a plant-based diet, congratulations! You are already following a low-protein diet. But what we want to achieve here is a very low-protein diet, which is different. Now guys, I will never tell you to start eating like this all on your own. This kind of dietary therapy always need the help of a doctor. Let's take a look now. We can see breakfast, lunch, dinner. There are even snacks, all without exceeding a protein limit of 20 grams a day. So there are 4 things I want to highlight here. First, how much protein and calories you will be getting and why. Second, what foods to eat. Third, what to avoid. And also, what are low protein foods such as pasta, bread, crackers. So let's start with protein quantity. Clearly, there is pretty much no protein in these meals. As we can see in this example, the aim is to get less than 20 grams of protein per day. So, protein amount is the difference between a low protein diet and very low protein diet. I know that many of you guys are already following a low protein diet. They are usually around 40 grams of protein per day. But according to literature, there's a lot of difference in terms of progression of kidney disease between a low and a very low protein diet. Low protein can help. Very low protein can stop kidney disease. So, what foods are always allowed in a VLPD? All vegetables and fruits suitable for a renal diet will fit in a VLPD. They don't contain protein. The exception is legumes, nuts, and seeds. These do contain some protein. They can be had, but in very small amounts. High-fat foods such as vegetable and olive oils, but also olives, flax seeds, chia seeds are very recommended. Someone with potassium levels under control may add avocado and coconut, 2 very healthy fat sources, to their diet. In some cases, even low-sodium dressings and mayonnaise may be acceptable. What foods should you always avoid in a VLPD? High-protein foods are to be avoided completely in a VLPD. This includes any kind of meat and fish, but also eggs and dairy are to be completely removed. Nuts and seeds are a gray area, as we have seen, because they are lower in protein and richer in healthy fats than meat and fish. How to tell how much nuts and seeds can you feed in a diet that requires 20 grams of protein? There is an app for that. More about this in a moment. Before that, what about low-protein pasta, bread, and biscuits? Low-protein food items are now available even in the US and many other countries. We have been using these food items in Italy for decades now. They're true and tested. Low-protein foods are zero or very low-protein alternative to pasta, flour, cookies, bread, and more. Like many foods, pasta contains some protein. Not as much as meat, for example, but if you eat pasta frequently, protein will add up quickly. This is why these products exist. They're especially developed for people with kidney problems, so they're also gonna be low on potassium, phosphorus, and sodium. Actually, some brands also fortify them with the vitamins you need, but not all of them. Talking about brands, these products are pretty easy to find almost anywhere in the world. This brand is called Apretan. Some websites in the US, Canada, and Australia carry it. Another brand is called Flavis. This one actually ships only in the US. This brand is called Laprofin and ships in Australia and New Zealand. Now, very important. There's a supplement you absolutely need to take to make this diet work. Keto analogs of amino acids. Very low protein diets are always coupled with some keto analogs supplementation. The reason is malnutrition. Because while your kidneys really suffer from breaking down protein into amino acids, your body really needs amino acids. Amino acids are the building block of all the tissue inside your body. Keto analogs of amino acids are nitrogen-free analogs of essential amino acids. Nitrogen-free is the key here. Nitrogen is the part of protein that's actually putting all the burden on the kidneys and making CKD progress. So, to get the benefits of a low protein diet and avoid malnutrition, you can use these special amino acids. Now guys, there are 3 brands of keto analogs available today. Ketosteril, a calcium-based keto analog. It was created from Fresenius, a well-known dialysis company, and requires a prescription to be sold. Then there's Albutrix, a magnesium-based keto analog product that comes in tablet form. Renal, a calcium-based keto analog sold in both powder and tablet form. Renal is made in the US and doesn't require a prescription. It's the cheapest of the bunch, but it's recommended to choose the different keto analog based on calcium levels of your most recent blood test. In short, the very low protein diet works based on the notion that the kidneys are damaged by protein. Once you remove protein from the diet almost completely, the kidneys will improve. A very low protein diet is not something you can self-prescribe though. It requires very precise calculations and a special supplementation. And while the help of a good nephrologist and a specialized dietitian are almost a requirement, you can still do a lot by yourself with the right tools. Yes, there is a free app for that. I mean, these days it looks like that if you need to do anything in your life, there's an app for that. And calculating macros in a renal diet definitely is one of those things an app can make easier. I've tested and researched various macros tracking apps. Nutritionix, MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, Lucid, and more. They all do a similar job. They all let you track with a sufficient approximation your macronutrients. The 2 I can recommend you to try are MyFitnessPal and Chronometer. The way they work is very easy. You can input any food you want as breakfast, lunch, dinner, and so on. And the app will tell you exactly how much protein, but also phosphorus, potassium, sodium, etc. you will be getting. Also, you can set daily goals for these nutrients, which is very useful. Both these apps are free and can be used on Android, iPhone, and even on a PC via web browser. Now guys, if you want to know more about what foods are perfectly safe and suitable for a low protein diet, there is a video up here just for that. In this video, 7 foods you absolutely must eat in a kidney diet and 7 you must avoid. So today we are going to see some of the best foods for the kidney diet. Foods so rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and healthy phytochemicals, they can actually make a difference. And also, some of the worst, most unhealthy foods, the foods you should always be avoiding no matter what. Yes, the diet is probably the single most important aspect of improving kidney health, and today I'll help you make it easier. There are 7 foods all kidney patients should always eat regularly, and 7 all should avoid. Let's start with a food to avoid. This one is a dangerous food not everyone knows about. Marketing has been telling people that's healthy, while it actually isn't. Number 7. Fruit juices. I'm starting with this one because big marketing departments really fooled us all with this one. Today, fruit juice is a true breakfast staple for so many people, and I wish they knew how unhealthy it is. Marketing told us that orange juice is incredibly healthy. It's so full of vitamins, it may even cure your cold. What they don't tell you is that most vitamins from fruit are actually lost during processing. What they don't tell you is that you will get this quantity of sugar in every single glass of fruit juice. Very bad, even if you don't have diabetes. Always avoid it. And I know that not everyone needs to lose weight, so our very first healthy food is something that can give you extra calories in a healthy way. Olive oil. Olive oil is a healthy source of fat and phosphorus free, making it a great option for people with kidney disease. Frequently, people with advanced kidney disease have trouble keeping weight on, and adding this superfood can help. And olive oil is healthy for everyone, especially if you can find extra virgin olive oil. It protects your heart and kidneys. Just 2 tablespoons a day of extra virgin olive oil have shown to improve HDL cholesterol levels in recent studies and to help with insulin sensitivity. Now guys, I don't want to talk about maybe foods today, all those foods that are sometimes considered good and sometimes bad. I just want to show you what everyone should eat and what everyone should avoid. So if you have any doubt about a particular food, ask about it in comment section. I'm answering all the comments I can, and if your question is interesting, maybe I'll make a full video about it. Time for our number 6, another hidden danger for the kidneys. Number 6, low-fat salad dressing. Low-fat foods sold as healthy should all be banned in my opinion. Brands often make up for their lack of satisfying fat by adding sugar, high fructose corn syrup, salt, and additives and preservatives to the recipe instead. For instance, a 2 tablespoons serving of no-fat salad dressing may have up to a shocking 14 grams of sugar. And that's 5 grams more than you'd get in a fun-sized Snickers bar. And just like fruit juices, ads have the audacity to tell you that these dressings are healthy.
Absolutely gorgeous. Salad dressing? Mum, thank you.
Always avoid them. Now guys, our next entry is a super healthy high-carb food. People with kidney problems need more carbs than the general population, but they must be from healthy sources, and this is one of the healthiest. Buckwheat. This whole grain is a real superfood. You can easily use it in place of rice in pilaus or make a grain salad with it. Many whole grains tend to be high in phosphorus. Buckwheat is a healthy exception. A recent study even linked buckwheat intake to lower blood pressure and lower cholesterol levels. Great for kidney health. Now guys, there are not many healthy sources of high-carb foods suitable for a kidney diet. And while buckwheat is very healthy, it's not enough. Here's something you should always avoid instead. Number 5. High potassium fruit and vegetables. High potassium levels can cause serious symptoms including an irregular heartbeat and other heart problems. It's no secret that the kidney diet is shaped by the necessity to avoid high potassium fruits such as bananas, oranges, avocados, and dried fruits, and also high potassium vegetables such as potatoes, cooked spinach, tomatoes, many legumes, and more. And while today, finally, there are prescription potassium binders available, it's always better to focus on a healthy diet before resorting to medications. In fact, some superfoods have active ingredients as powerful as those of some heart medications, like our next entry. Pineapple. Many tropical fruits like oranges, bananas, and kiwis are very high in potassium. Fortunately, pineapple makes a sweet, low potassium alternative for those with kidney problems. Plus, pineapple is rich in fiber, manganese, vitamin C, and bromelain, an enzyme that helps reduce inflammation, among other benefits. Now guys, unfortunately, it's time for one of the hardest foods to avoid. Dairy. Dairy products are the biggest dietary source of phosphorus, and they're also a source of protein. Excess phosphorus levels are very bad for you. They won't just make your skin itch, they're also associated with bone brittleness, increased risk of ending up in dialysis, and also, well, increased risk of death. Now, excess phosphorus in the diet can be managed. There are remedies such as Tums that bind to phosphorus and remove it, and there are also prescription binders. Still, there's no way to remove protein from dairy, and protein should always be avoided if you care about your kidneys. So, let's see now a savory ingredient that can be used as a plant-based meat substitute for those on a renal diet who need to limit protein. Shiitake mushrooms. Shiitake mushrooms are not just delicious and lower in phosphorus and potassium than almost any other mushroom. These delicious mushrooms are rich in B vitamins, dietary fiber, and in maybe the most important vitamin there is, vitamin D. Almost every single kidney disease patient is deficient in vitamin D. Also because there are no plant-based sources of this nutrient other than mushrooms. Yes, this food is really healthy for you. Let's see something to avoid now. Foods with hidden salt. We are in the top 3 now, some very dangerous elements here. Foods containing hidden salt are among the worst because they will raise your blood pressure and leave you wondering why all you're doing for your heart health isn't working. Truth is that you only need a very small amount of sodium every day. Anything more can raise your blood pressure. But packaged foods, even though sold as healthy, may easily pack more salt than this in a single meal. Some of the worst offenders include salad dressings, as we have seen, but also packaged sandwiches, vegetable juices, and snacks in general. Time for one of the healthiest vegetables on earth now. Cabbage. This is one of the few cruciferous veggies really suitable for a renal diet, even without portioning. Cabbage has half the potassium in the same quantity of kale, but it retains many of its health benefits. We can almost say that cabbage is a low potassium version of kale, one of the healthiest foods on the planet, and it's also a source of insoluble fiber, a type of fiber that's proven to have incredible benefits for the health of your kidneys. And while there are many varieties of cabbage, such as red, green, white, and purple, they're all incredibly healthy. Cabbage can also fight inflammation in the body, and it's especially rich in sulfur compounds, powerful kidney detoxifiers. Our number 2 is for some reason still a controversial entry. Some doctors will still recommend you to eat this one. That's a bad idea. The second most dangerous food for your kidneys is number 2, meat. And I'm not just talking about red, I'm talking about high protein foods in general. Because while some doctors don't believe in diet as a therapy for people with kidney problems, I personally saw kidney disease patients switch from a diet rich in meat to a low protein one improve fast. Their creatinine started to become lower and their kidneys to improve. This may seem anecdotal, but there's a large review of studies confirming that following a low-protein diet is associated with a slower decrease of kidney function. Now guys, limiting protein in a diet is more complex than just avoiding meat. If you want to know more, watch my video about the low-protein diet for kidney disease. Time for the healthiest fruit you can find. Cranberries. Really low in potassium but very rich in healthy vitamins. Cranberries are one of the best dietary sources of quercetin, an antioxidant known for prolonging life. Now, what cranberries are most known for is their benefits for the urinary tract. These tiny tart fruits contain phytonutrients called A-type protoanthocyanidins, which prevent bacteria from sticking to the lining of the urinary tract and bladder, thus preventing infections. An amazing help for the health of the kidneys. Okay, it's time for the most dangerous junk food there is now. Dark colas. Just like fruit juices, dark colas are really bad for your health. They're full of sugar, even more than fruit juices, and that's a real problem. Excess sugar consumption has been linked to a raising blood pressure, cholesterol levels, diabetes, and many other health risks. And while most liquid calories are unhealthy, dark colas are also full of phosphorus, very dangerous for the kidneys. This is why dark colas have been linked to a sharp decline of kidney function in people that consume them regularly. Always avoid dark colas. Now the number one for today, the undisputed champion of kidney health, a food capable of lowering your blood pressure and your cholesterol, among other benefits. Number one, garlic. Garlic is the perfect union of a food and a home remedy. Garlic provides a delicious alternative to salt, adding flavor to dishes while providing great health benefits. But garlic is also incredibly powerful at lowering your blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and improving insulin sensitivity. An amazing superfood! And guys, a very interesting new video is coming next Sunday. Today we have seen what food is the king of kidney healing foods. Sunday, we are going to see the king of herbal remedies for kidney health. Absolutely, you can't miss that video. In the meantime, keep taking good care of your kidneys and be good to yourself. This is all for today. Bye!